Hey, I'm Tim C.
Hey, I'm Landon Blank.
And you're listening to Hacking Concrete. Where are we? I can't remember the name of this thing.
Orville, Ohio, Decorative Supply.
There you go, Orville, Ohio. We're at the Decorative Supply Show. This is Mike Day. He has a YouTube channel, Everything About Concrete. What's your company name?
My company name is, I have two of them. One's Everything About Concrete.
Okay.
And my normal business name is Days Concrete Floors.
Days Concrete Floors, okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. So, how long have you been pouring concrete?
I've been pouring concrete for 40 years. Yeah, I started when I was 15. I started working for my girlfriend's father, as a matter of fact.
Is she your wife now?
No.
Okay.
So all through high school I did it, and maybe a year and a half after high school.
Okay.
And then I started my own company. I was just about 20 years old when I started my own company.
I worked for my dad when I was in high school too. My friends are always so jealous that I had a construction job, and I don't know, that was always a big deal. Was it like that for you?
Yeah.
I worked on a farm with my grandfather, and I probably should have worked for somebody else.
Yeah. That's funny.
But so when did you get into the decorative side of things?
So the first few years, it was just mainly concrete floors. And then probably about the time I was 25, I made another friend who was in the concrete business, and all he did was stamp concrete. So he would call me and my crew in to come help him pour the concrete.
Gotcha.
And then we'd hang out with him and help him stamp it. So that's kind of how I learned, was right on the job like that with him.
Cool.
That's funny. Well, we started doing overlays with Increte systems, and we never poured concrete before. And I would actually hire a concrete company. When we started doing stamping, we would hire a concrete company to place and float it for us, and then we'd take it from there.
Right.
So we were the other.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. We were on the other end of that, because that's how we learned to pour concrete, was just working with finishers.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it. Simple.
So Mike has a website where he teaches people how to do all sorts of stuff. And you know, we've heard all about how you can do it and be successful. Have you ever had any major things go wrong? What's the worst thing that's ever happened on a job?
Probably the worst thing that's happened to us is we get rained on. I think I talked to you about that a little earlier. You know, once in a while you'll go do a job. Like I did a driveway once, beautiful driveway. It was nice and sunny out, not a cloud in the sky. We got done probably brooming it around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So we went to go do another job, which was about an hour away. And with thinking that we were going to come back and saw the driveway later.
Yeah.
So we got back probably about 6 o'clock to saw the joints in it, and it had showered on it.
Okay.
And it pitted the whole surface. So
what a feeling.
I mean, and that back then I didn't know how to do overlays and stuff like that. That was
Right.
one of the reasons I got into doing overlays, was how to.
So a problem led to a solution.
So what ended up happening is I called the excavator back up. He ripped it out.
Oh man.
And we did it again. I wasn't going to give the customer, anything they had to worry about. So we just redid it. That was probably the worst thing.
So do you decide on the day, is the weather on you if you do it?
It's on me.
It's on you.
I get up at 4:30 in the morning, turn on the weather. I usually watch the 3 major networks channels and try to decide, should I risk it or not?
Yeah. That's funny. So it's on you. I went on one this week, and the concrete finisher told the customer, well, I didn't say we should pour it. I was on your schedule.
Yeah. No, I mean, I line up the concrete. I figure the concrete. I do everything. So it's all on me. I don't want to put that on the customer.
No, that's right.
Sure, yeah.
That's right. That's funny.
Yep.
What a horrible feeling, though, having to tear all that out.
It was. Now, if I knew how to do overlays, I just would have ground it and gave it a nice overlay.
Yep.
Right.
That's right. My question is, not only do you've done that work in your trade for years, but all of a sudden, people don't know he has 100,000 YouTube subscribers.
That's right.
100,000.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for
And
that.
so, what brought you to that? Video number 1. What happened? What?
Video number 1, I can honestly say, wasn't very good. I was on a job. Matter of fact, I can remember the exact job. It was at a bank, and we poured the drive-through area in concrete.
Right.
And we put the ISO strip foam up against the edges. So I had to go back and peel off the top ½ inch and caulk those edges.
Right.
That was my first video.
That's funny.
Nice.
Of how to use SL1 to caulk the edges.
And that was intentional by you. You're like,
it was.
people don't know this, so
I didn't have the YouTube channel back then, but I made the video.
Nice.
For whatever reason, and then it just ended up going from there.
And you have a course on that now, don't you?
I have a course on how to pour concrete slabs.
You have a caulking course, don't you? I thought.
No, not an exact caulking course. No, I got a stamp concrete course, a slab course.
Oh, I know. I'm thinking of the one where you fix the cracks in walls.
Fixing cracks in basement
Yeah.
walls, yeah.
Okay.
Like he has a lot of really niche like tutorials and stuff where you can learn how to do these things. That I mean, how would you learn that?
Right. Exactly.
Right. Unless you just Google it,
Yeah.
And,
Or you work with somebody who's done it, but it's hard to do.
yeah.
Especially for you. We're in a similar, where we are in Lynchburg. What city are you in Maine?
North Monmouth, Maine?
Okay. I mean, it's not a big city.
No.
So we're like that too. We actually have to travel an hour or two, be willing to do that to stay busy. So
Yep.
this is the kind of thing where like there's really, for a long time, there was no one who did what we did. So
Right.
we didn't have anyone to really learn with. And
Yeah.
then once social media took off in the past 10 years or so, we've met a ton of people like you. And our business has expanded because of that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so too.
But
Yeah.
prior to that, I don't know how people learn stuff like that.
It is. So,
Hands-on. I mean, that's when people ask me, when people see some of my videos, and probably yours are the same way, and they ask, I want to do that. I really love doing that. I want to do. How do I learn? Usually my first response is, you really got to work with somebody hands-on
Yeah.
to learn the best. You can take my courses and get a really good idea of what to do,
Yeah.
but if you got to be able to touch and feel the concrete to really learn just how it reacts and how it acts.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Definitely.
It just blows my mind that the funny thing about life is that Tim and I talk about this stuff all the time. You had no idea. You just filmed a caulk joint.
Yep.
100,000 subscribers later,
Yeah.
just because you took a step in doing that. And it's just like, hey, let's be silly on a podcast. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, we're up here interviewing,
Right.
talking to you. It's
Famous YouTuber.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you probably didn't think it was going to be like when you put that camera out, you didn't think that, this is going to be a new revenue stream, like a legitimate revenue stream.
No,
Right.
no, I didn't. It wasn't really about that. It was about just helping people learn to do things that they're searching for.
Yeah.
And when people search for something nowadays, they pull out their phone and they Google it, right?
Right.
Right.
Where do they get the real answers to that? And if they can watch people like you or people like me do it,
Yeah.
who are actual contractors,
Yep.
that's really the best resource.
Yeah. And you started it as a way to help. And oftentimes when that happens, things grow that way too.
I think, like I've always heard, if you help enough other people get what they want, you're going to get what you want.
That's right.
And it's basically, for me, it's the satisfaction of just helping other people.
Right.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, for you guys, you said you specialize mostly in a couple things: epoxy and overlays.
And polished concrete.
And polished concrete. So, do you get people asking you that they want to come work with you to learn how to do that? Do you ever get any of that?
I get a few messages about it every year, but we're still like,
But people way away, like out of state, they want to
Yeah.
come. Yeah.
People coming
because
from
of
far
social
away.
media.
Right.
Right.
Now, would that be a step for you guys? I mean, would you ever like have somebody come work with you for a week or two to help teach them? I mean, you guys ever thought about that?
it's just going back to scheduling. I would love to do that, but we don't ever know when we're going to be on the job. So
Right.
if somebody wanted to learn like a vinyl chip floor, it would be hard unless they could just drive on a moment's notice. I don't know how I haven't like gotten my head around how to schedule that.
I do like what you're saying, though. That's a little bit different than what we've thought about in the past. Just someone coming and watching and learning from wherever.
I mean, if they're going to get hands-on, where's else would be the best place than
Yeah, I
actual
mean,
on a job? We
Yeah.
can get hands-on in a warehouse all you want.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like
No.
on the job.
That's so true.
These things here,
Yeah.
these 10 by 10 areas, they're awesome to watch, but that's not what a job's like.
No, there's nothing that ever goes wrong here.
Right.
I mean, if you guys know on a job, there's always something that pops up.
Yep.
That's unexpected.
Oh, man.
So how do you deal with that?
Yes. That
that's-
is everything, right?
That is. How do you deal
Yeah.
with the problems that pop up?
Right.
So
It's funny because when people ask us to like help us learn, I actually think that the actual doing is the easiest part, like the painting the floor and throwing flakes in it, whatever. Or that's not that difficult as it is with like being able to deal with these issues that come up on the fly and dealing with the business side of things. Like that's just such a small point. So I don't know. I've never really thought of asking people to come.
Because
Yeah.
everything, what if you get on a slab, like when we grind concrete, the concrete was soft, and we had soft diamonds on it, and all of a sudden, they burned up in an hour.
Right.
We're supposed to be here 8 hours working, contractors breathing down our neck. It's those situations we're always working through,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the experience I find that's hard to get.
Yep.
If you're not there with people that know how to do that and how to deal with it.
Sure.
I mean, I'm getting a lot of that now where people are asking me, can I come work with you for 2 weeks? They'll even say, I'll pay you to come work with you. somebody for even for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they just want to learn. There's so
Have
much.
you done that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's completely the way to go, though. That is.
I'm just, I'm worried about the liability a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I got workman's comp and all the insurances on my guys that actually work for me. But what if someone comes on the job and something happens that doesn't work for you? I got to get that figured out first.
Sure.
But I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to do that
I
too.
really would.
Makes a lot of sense.
I like to do that too. I just my only concern with that is like keeping them busy, like getting their money's worth. I feel pressure once that happens. People are spending money to hang out with us like that.
I feel like they're not so worried about being busy as they are just wanting to learn.
Right,
Just
right.
be able to pick your brain while you're right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think that would be too much of a problem with what I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great thought.
Yeah, it is. It's a good idea.
So you guys, when you go do jobs, obviously, who does like the billing and the invoices and all the accounting for you? Do you guys do that?
We do it all.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. We're hands-on with everything.
Now, what do you like to use to do that with?
I use QuickBooks.
So do I.
Yeah.
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 So, like, I don't know, we'll do 10 or 12 jobs a week. I usually sit down on the weekend.
You do 10 or 12 a week?
Yeah, most weeks we do at least that.
Awesome.
But you got to
Awesome.
figure, when we go do it, like one job would be, let's say we're going to go Monday, we'll pour a house and garage floor.
Right.
That's one job. And then the next day I might go pour a garage floor over here for this guy, leave one guy, then we'll go pour another garage floor for another guy, leave a guy. So
I
there's
got you.
2 jobs that day.
So that's
You
the
know.
separation of the companies where you are doing some flat work.
A lot of flat work.
A lot of flat work. Okay.
Yeah.
And the decorative side comes in
It
separate.
it's whenever I schedule it in.
Okay, gotcha.
Because
Mhm.
a stamp job takes more than a day, right? Usually
Right.
for me, it's the first day is the prep. We'll go form it, get it all ready. The second day is the stamp. Third day is usually the wash it and clean it.
Yep.
And then sometimes if it's good enough, we'll go back that fourth or maybe skip a day, but it's the fourth day we'll seal it.
I do that too. I
So
don't,
there's
I don't
like
wait
4
a long
days
time.
Sure.
with a stamp
Right.
job.
Exactly. And you can squeeze in other projects from right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know something I saw on your Instagram feed the other day that blew my mind. So we're from a warmer climate. It's cold. Snow's on the ground
Yeah.
3 or 4 months a year on the ground.
3 months, yeah.
So I was watching a video that he had put out, and he heated the floor. He heated the dirt to thaw it so that he could pour concrete.
Oh wow.
And that blew
Yeah.
my mind that you could do that.
Yeah, it's just a normal thing for us. I don't think much of it. So what'll happen on a lot of our jobs is the ground is froze, but they still need the floor done. So lately, the last few years, people have been renting these ground heaters.
Okay.
So it's this big, almost like a generator boiler combination thing, and they'll run these garden hoses all over the top of the dirt,
Gotcha.
and that'll unthaw 16 inches of frost in 24 hours.
16
Wow.
inches.
Unbelievable.
So they'll lay the hoses about every foot, and then they'll put the concrete blankets over that, and that'll just take the frost right out. We
Wow.
actually poured a floor the other day. Maybe this is the one you saw where they put those garden hoses right in the concrete floor.
Yeah.
They ran hot water through them while we poured the floor.
Oh, they left him.
They left them right in there,
Oh, wow.
and then they were going to leave them in there for about another 2 weeks afterwards, and then they would just cut them off. And they just did that so we could get the floor done,
Just so they can move
and
on.
keep the floor from freezing for the next 2 weeks
Unbelievable.
until it cured
Wow.
up hard enough so it could withstand the
So
frost.
up there, you're going 2 weeks of keeping it from freezing.
I tell them at least a week. Cover it
Wow.
for at least a week before you take the blankets off. If it's below 30 degrees, yeah.
Good grief.
That's funny. I mean,
I
where
bet
we
that stuff is so hard too. I
yeah.
bet that. I mean, how hard is the concrete after it gets that?
slow curing like that. I mean,
slow
it's
curing
not, I
for
don't
that
know.
long?
Yeah.
It needs to reach about 500 psi because we have air entrainment in our concrete too, before it can go through a freeze-thaw cycle, and it'll do that in a couple days.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just better to let it sit for 7 days. We don't like any water or anything freezing to the surface
Right.
in that first week.
Right.
Otherwise, it'll just peel it off and scale.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you didn't see the 100 subscribers coming. Where do you see you're moving to next in your business?
Well, I'm going to continue to grow that. I mean, that's basically taken off, so it's its own business now.
Sure.
It's its own separate business. The everything about concrete with the YouTube channel, the website, the courses, it's basically blossomed into a business.
Sure.
You don't
So-
have any help whatsoever.
My daughter helps me, the one you see in some of the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been helping me with that a little bit. But she's still in college, so
Okay.
I'm still doing most of it right now. I don't know where that'll lead when she gets out of college, but
Right.
she definitely could be a partner with that.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of work. But for me, that's the fun. It's like a hobby, so it's fun
Yeah.
for me.
Sure.
That's how it was for me too. It was just a hobby. It didn't occur to me that it might be something that we'd make money with one day.
Yeah.
I was just doing it because, I guess for us the idea was that to do YouTube, we just wanted to, have a bigger quantity of jobs to choose from for the ones that we actually do.
Right.
Have you seen that have you seen people choose you because of your?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it helps because I'll put some of the YouTube videos on my regular website, like my Days Concrete page, if they want to see who I am and what I do. It
Sure.
just helps build trust.
It does.
You know, when
Helps
people
build trust,
when
right.
people can visually see what you can do, the trust comes much faster.
Yeah.
You know?
And also you see your personality in there. You know, it's a guy I can work
Right.
with. This is
Yeah. I mean, I still get a lot of word of mouth work, probably like you guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the best form of advertising.
tremendous.
Definitely.
Tremendous.
But for the
Yeah.
people that don't know you, how do they choose? I get that a lot. You know,
Yeah.
people asking me, how do you choose a good contractor? Because there's a lot of good ones out there, but there's not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad ones too.
We kind of think of our business model as like, it's not that hard to stay busy anymore. But is that like that for you? You obviously stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to grow our media presence so that we want to pick and choose the ones that we really want to do instead of taking everything.
Right.
And through that transparency, people are comfortable.
Yeah,
You know,
they are.
like the podcast and everything. You can see us talking about it, and
Talk about how
This is
much
who
we
we
mess
are.
up.
Yeah.
this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, if you don't mess up, you're not human, right?
Right.
It's just when you mess up, how do you react to that?
That's right.
You know, when you face adversity, how do you react? That's when
Sure.
your true colors show.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that's and
That's right.
people respect that, I think.
I think so too. But that's funny. We've been putting our YouTube videos on our website too, our business site lately too, and it's been surprising in how many people will sit there and watch video after video of us doing this stuff. Like,
Right.
I'll go to quotes now, and they know they know what we're gonna do. They know everything.
Yeah.
They're just like, how much is it gonna be?
Well, it helps build their expectations too.
Right.
You know, what should they expect, and what shouldn't they expect?
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I put a video out about how to clean and reseal stamped concrete.
Okay.
You know, and that's kind of something a homeowner can do if they know how.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not that hard to do.
It's not at all.
And I get a lot of comments on that thanking me for
Yeah.
putting that video out, just because, most people have a pressure washer.
Yep.
They know how to clean that stuff, and most people can roll or spray on a coat of sealer.
Yeah.
So it's just that was a good video. I get a lot of good comments about that, and it's stuff I could do and charge for if I wanted to.
Right.
And if they want me to, I will. But if they can do it themselves, I'm happy with that too.
Sure.
You know.
So what are you doing in the Bahamas? I saw you were pouring concrete.
Yeah, we was in actually St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, and how that came about was I have a Facebook page or a group called Concrete Ninjas,
Okay.
and this guy joined that group. His name is Damian McAlevey, and he does a little bit of concrete work, but he's mostly a contractor down there. He does kitchens and baths, so he had some stamped concrete to do. And I commented on one of his videos he put on that page, and I said, hey, if you ever need any help, Damien, just call me up. So a couple months later, sure enough, he called me up and said, I got this project going, I could use some help.
That's cool.
So I just took me and the crew down there for a week, and we helped him stamp that concrete. And he's building a big back door kitchen area out there. He's doing countertops and all that. So
Awesome.
that was just one little part of that process.
So we need to go and find everybody in the Bahamas that's a contractor and tell them, hey, you need help.
Yeah.
Hopefully Nathan, our friend Nathan, lives
Yeah.
in the British Virgin Islands. We're hoping that he's going to need us for something one
Yeah,
day.
that's right.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. It was a good time. The weather down there is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Pretty good so far?
I think it's about good.
You got any more good stories? Anything that's funny?
Probably not funny. No, but I mean, if there's other contractors out there, here's what I would recommend. If there's a way that you can video some of the stuff you do and put it up, whether you start your own YouTube channel or you just put it up on your website, I mean, I think it's definitely a great marketing tool for you. When we talked about a little earlier, when people search for stuff now, it's all visual through either Google or they're going on to YouTube and they're searching for how to do stuff. And if you could build another business that way, I would definitely say go for it.
Yep.
You know, especially if you're younger in this business, if you're just starting out, I would video everything. Even if you don't put it up right off, just have that in your back pocket for later on. You know, and I would definitely recommend starting a YouTube channel for anybody who's a contractor out there.
It's a long process. I mean, when did you start your channel? How long you been doing it?
Well, I had it probably 7 or 8 years ago, but I didn't really start taking it serious until probably 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so it grew fast for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I upload twice a week, so it's
Do you always do twice a week, no matter what?
Monday, Friday, every single week. I haven't missed for over a year. I just think the consistency helps build the channel faster.
Sure.
When people expect your video coming out.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a few people that I watch that post regularly, and I just know, every Monday, Thursday, I'm watching
Right.
Jamie O'Brien, the surfer.
Which is the problem, but it's the same. We always we need to get better on getting podcasts out because people are expecting it. They want to see it,
Yeah.
want to hear it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you do have those regulars that look forward to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for talking with us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's my pleasure, really. I mean, it's been great meeting you guys. Like I said, I watch you guys online all the time.
Cool.
So it's finally great. This is why we come to these things.
Yeah, it was funny
to
because
meet these people.
I saw you down there, and I looked up, and I reacted like, "Oh, there's my buddy Mike Day," even though I'd never met him before. And I ran over immediately. I was like, "Hey!" And then I realized that I didn't think you knew who I was at that point.
Yeah, no, I did recognize you afterwards. Yeah.
That's funny.
From you, it just took me a minute. Remember, I'm older than you guys, so it takes
it's
me
just
longer.
funny though. It's funny because we watch YouTube though, and you watch people so much that you almost feel like you have this like relationship with them. So that was kind of how.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
You're right. Exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your website? Your websites again?
Everythingaboutconcrete.com
Okay.
is my online website.
That's
and
your YouTube channel too. Just
that's my
everything about
YouTube
concrete.
channel too. Yeah, Mike Day Concrete. You could find it that way. My home website in Maine is daysconcretefloors.com.
Okay. Great.
And I got a website for that too. So yeah, that's what I do.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for talking to us, and I'm sure Decorate's pumped that you're here.
Yeah, I hope so.
And,
Thank you.
Well, they can't see it on the camera, but there's a big money. What do you call that thing?
Yeah, it's a money machine. You
A
get
money-
in there and air blows up the money, and then
Money.
you try to catch something to win a prize.
Yeah. So we got to let Mike go because he wants to go do it.
All right.
Thanks,
fun with the
guys.
money machine.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.